Hi, my name is ShiVa and you're watching the ShiVa Minute. Now, unwrapping is one of the basic skills in 3D. Unwrapping means assigning one of those faces in 3D space a 2D coordinate, which allows you to use textures, that means 2D maps, in 3D space. There are several methods of getting unwrapping right. Wings 3D makes it especially easy, so I will start here. There's some sort of classic unwrapping, that means face by face. So you select a face or a face group, like those two. Go to UV mapping. There you have the two faces. Right click again, click continue, and then unfolding. And then you got the two faces on a 2D texture panel. However, it is often easier to unwrap the whole model at once. So I will just go to object mode, hit my whole object, go to face mode, go to UV mapping, and if I click continue now and then unfolding, I'll get some weirdly distorted thing here. You want to avoid that, so select the model again, switch to faces, UV mapping, delete that, unwrap it again, and now we want to cut the mesh open into logical pieces. Like, I want to have the roof separate, so I will select all the faces around the roof, right click, mark for cut, space to deselect. I want the bottom separately, mark for cut, and I want to introduce only one cut to the sides, so I'll cut here, space, deselect, continue unfolding. So now I got three faces, one for the bottom, can't see it right now, one for the roof, and one for all the side faces. I could now go around and position them as I like. Maybe I think I would like the roof a bit bigger, so I select that, go to scale, go to uniform, scale it up. Now you notice that the faces overlap, so I got the bottom over the faces for the roof. You would really want to avoid that. That's really not good and will only give you errors when painting the texture or doing normal map calculations. So evenly space everything you have in UV mode so stuff does not overlap. Have also the opportunity to rotate your coordinates, so scaling, moving, rotating is no problem in UV space. You can now export this texture, right click create texture, okay, and export that one, which is now displayed in the outliner. Export that one to maybe a bitmap to continue work in your favorite 2D program like Photoshop. Now for those of you who are lazy, there's also another technique for texturing real quick. And for that purpose I've opened ShiVa 3D with the model we've just created in Wings. I exported it to 3ds. The required tool is in the tools bar and called UV Mapper, which gives you the basics of cubic, spherical, flat, cylindrical, and frontal projection. We'll just go for cubic for this ground plate. We will assign a texture. I like this wood. I can adjust the scale on all sides. But this one would not export properly. I would have to write the UV coordinates first before I could use the generated texture coordinates as UV map. So I just click that. Now I can click away and the texture will stay. Let's have a look at the UV map for this object. It's in the tools UV mapper. You don't have to be afraid that it looks like it does. The texture tiles seamlessly, so the generated coordinates will naturally go over the standard 1:1 image size. That's no problem, ShiVa does this well. so there's nothing to worry about. Remember that the standard generation methods like cubic and spherical only work if you have baked the coordinates into the UV map. I know this is possible in 3ds Max and other packages like this. Blender does not really do this, so unless I'm mistaken, you have to bake the texture into an existing UV map if you are using the procedural texture mapping like cubic or spherical.